Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Naturally IE, aka Aisha, and thanks for tuning in back with me. Today we are getting into Roots in Democracy number 8. And we are talking about something that I feel like no one can stop talking about right now, and that is the Judge Kavanaugh hearings. So let's just jump right in. Roots in Democracy is my little spin on what's going on in the political world nowadays. Usually I like to try to incorporate some type of hair element into it, but today we're going to scratch that. Make sure that you check out naturallye.com. That is my personal blog where I get deeper into curls, travel, and life. And I'm even starting to supplement all of the YouTube videos that I have here on YouTube. There will be corresponding blog posts over there. So if you're interested, if you want more information, especially on topics like this, on the Roots in Democracy episodes, make sure that you head out over there because those posts are actually already posted before this video goes live. While you're at it, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything related to curls, beauty, and politics. So without further ado, let's get right into Roots in Democracy. Judge Brett Kavanaugh, he's a judge in Maryland, and he is being elevated to the Supreme Court. He has made it in the short list. He has become a nominee. He is the GOP's guy for the 9th seat on the Supreme Court. But the issue right now is whether or not this man deserves to sit on the Supreme Court. I personally watched the confirmation hearings. I watched all testimonies of, I think it was like 12 testimonies of people that, either liked him or didn't like him. And I remember watching the last person, I'll have to look up his name and I'll probably link it here if I can figure it out, an older gentleman. And I remember him saying all of these things about why Brett Kavanaugh would be a good match. And basically it boiled down to the fact that the Republicans don't have anybody else better. Okay. So be it. If he's all you got, I guess that's what we got to go with right now. Perfect. That's fine. Up until this situation with Dr. Ford comes out, where she has to say, she feels compelled. It's in her civic duty, as she said, to come forward and say, "Hey, I know this happened almost 40 years ago, but this is a thing. This is a thing that needs to be addressed." So I'm just gonna pull up all the quotes that I wanted to discuss with you guys here. Don't mind me. But if you are interested, I did in the supplements blog post, I did highlight all of the main quotes that I think are the most important, that stood out the most in the testimonies, and you can catch those right over at naturallye.com. So the first thing that I thought was prominent, that I'm like, yes, thank you for doing this, is Dr. Ford actually went out ahead and said, "I don't remember everything." As a matter of fact, she actually says, "I truly wish I could be more helpful with more detailed answers to all of the questions that have and will be asked about how I got to the party and where it took place and so forth. I don't have all the answers and I don't remember as much as I would like to." Let's just stop that there so that everyone knows. Don't get crazy. Don't expect her to remember who was what, wearing what, who was drinking what, who was kissing who. No, she remembers what happened to her. And I think that's what matters the most, is she is consistent about what she remembers. Moving on. "I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help, but when I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life. It was hard for me to breathe, and I thought that Brett was accidentally going to kill me." It doesn't matter what job you're going for. If these are actions that you did in the past, it's unacceptable. 100%. I'm not going to get into the depths of what she said and how the incident actually occurred. You can definitely go ahead and read that. If you open up the description box, I do have a link to Washington Post, and they have the full testimony written out, and I did read through that, and that is how I got all of my direct quotes. So you can be my guest as to go ahead, and if you just hit Control F, put in rape, and it will come up exactly where she starts to talk about how she thought that he was gonna rape him and how the incident happened and all of the particulars of that. But this, I believed, he was going to rape me. is that alone should disqualify this man, because you're going to work for public office. It's one thing if you're going to be the CEO of like Amazon. No, I'm not saying anything bad about other CEOs, but I'm just saying it's one thing if you're the head of a private organization that you started up. That's different. Fortunately, it's still not right, but I'm sure that you could be able to to fight ways to keep your company. But when you're holding public office, right, and you want to make decisions that are going to affect this generation and my children's generation, I have a problem with that. And I think that more people should have a problem with this. I'm not saying that people don't, but I'm thinking that the Republicans would rather they'd rather overlook this sexual assault allegation than really dive into it, really look deeply. Did this really occur? Is Dr. Ford credible? Because that's all that this is about, is who's more credible, Dr. Ford, Judge Kavanaugh. The last quote that I would like to go over from Dr. Ford is a little bit later on. She goes, "I'm an independent person. I am no one's pawn." And to me, that was really, really important to put out there, because there are going to be a lot of people saying that, oh, the Democrats put her up to this, oh, she was paid by this, far left group and this far left group. No, I don't. In my heart, and if you open up your heart and you really think about it, would you want to be, have your entire life aired for the public to just dissect, to have to move out of your own home, your family, your kids, you can't go back to your job? Would you want those things? I mean, this woman admitted that, GoFundMe has been funding the security that she takes to get from point A to point B. Come on. So that's what I wanted to say about Christine Blasey Ford. I think she is 100% credible. Being a survivor of sexual assault, most women that you come in contact with are victims of sexual assault, number one. Number two, being a victim of sexual assault, I believe her. I believe her 100%. There's nothing that you could have said to me after her testimony that would have made me believe otherwise. Speaking of, now for Judge Kavanaugh. I have a lot to say about that, but just a couple of the quick quotes that he did say. The first quote, and I quote, "I wrote this myself yesterday afternoon and evening. No one has seen a draft or it except for one of my former law clerks. This is my statement." Homeboy, you know damn well as a Yale law grad that you have to spend more than 24 hours on an essay that you're going to give to essentially the entire world. Because if you think it's just the US that's paying attention, you're fucking wrong. Sidebar, I definitely spend more time on blog posts and videos than what he spent on this essay. So to me, that was a red flag immediately, because I'm like, what are we about to hear? We're about to hear some shit. Second quote. This one was funny. Quote, this whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election. This is revenge on behalf of the Clintons. My dude, really? Nobody gives a fart and fuck about 2016 anymore. We are over it. It's about to be 2019. We're focused on 2020, or at least I would hope that people are focused on 2020 and they're not still looking back at 2016. They're focused on how can we not get hacked by Russia? How can we, encourage more women and more people of color to come forward and vote and run in the elections? No one's focusing on him winning. We're just trying to make sure that he doesn't win again. So that was just irrelevant and made you look stupid. To me it seemed like he was like crying out to Big Daddy Trump. Please, sir, come say something. Please put on a press meeting after this and fight for me. That's how it seemed to me. Third comment. This has literally been the highlight of this whole situation for me. The fucking yearbook. I don't know about anybody else, but this part of this situation is like, it tickles me the most. It gives me the most pleasure because it's just fucking hilarious. So, who was it? I think it was Senator Whitehouse. You know, first off, Kavanaugh's quote about, in his opening statement about the yearbook was, for one thing, our yearbook was a disaster. I think some editors and students wanted the yearbook to be some combination of Animal House, Caddyshack, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which were all recent movies at the time. Many of us went along with the yearbook to the point of absurdity. This past week, my friends and I have cringed when we read about it and talked to each other. If you've never seen any of these movies, Fast Times at Ridgemont High might still be on Netflix. It's wild. It's up there. It's up there at that level of just like ridiculous high school movies. So maybe some people were writing things that were a bit much at the time. Valid. But when you are asked directly under oath by a senator, what does boofing means? Don't say it means flatulence. When that same senator asks you what the devil's triangle is, don't say it's a quarters drinking game. When that senator asks you what the 4th of July is, don't say it's a funny way to say, because it's fucking not. Everybody knows that Urban Dictionary has been the word of the internet and the word of young people, the word of slang. You know, that's where you go. If you don't know what slang like a slang word means, you go to Urban Dictionary. It's been like that since I was literally like 13. I'm 27. Literally, it's been that long. And of course, the first thing that I had to do, because I don't know what the fucking thing is, I had to go and search that shit. And what I found out, the images in my mind of this middle-aged white man doing these things is disturbing. If you're curious, boofing is the act of inserting drugs into your anus so that you can get a better high. I will let you all go and figure out Devil's Triangle and the 4th of July. So my big point, or my reason for pointing this out, is the fact that this motherfudger, you're under oath. You think that these senators are not going to go send their millennial assistants and clerks and whoever the hell to go and find out what that means? You think that the meaning's going to change from 1982 to 2018? Because I'm pretty sure it's not going to change. That's just me though. So that alone, if you're lying under oath about something that but a lot of people can easily determine what's real and what's not, why would you lie about it, number one? And number two, how do you pass somebody through the confirmation process if they've publicly lied under oath? How do you do that? And the last quote from Kavanaugh is, I ask you to judge me by the standard that you would want to apply to your father, your husband, your brother, or your son. Okay. If you were my father, my brother, my husband, or my son, I would tell you to step the fuck down. Your name is tarnished no matter what you do at this point. Forget this position. Forget going back to judgeships. It's not gonna happen. Unfortunately, whether or not you did do this act is irrelevant. It's the fact that she thinks that you did this. She is convinced, she is 100% certain that it was you. You can't fight that. You can't fight that. Especially in today's day, and especially with the Me Too movement, you have to back down. And with all that money that you made as a judge, because I know you made bank, you have to take it upon yourself now to do better, to committing to helping women everywhere, to, whether that's really committing to bringing up more female law clerks in the system, or that's to helping underprivileged women or something. Create a foundation for women. You have to do something that shows that you recognize that you fucked up and now you're trying to change. That's what you have to do. So to continue to fight and be angry and make yourself all red and cry on TV like that, unfucking necessary. Unnecessary. Does he deserve to sit on the Supreme Court? In my personal opinion, if that was truly an interview, a job interview, as Senator Dianne Feinstein had initially said it was at the beginning, she said that it's not a trial for Dr. Ford, it's a job interview for Judge Kavanaugh. If that really was an interview and that's how he reacts, are we sure that we really want him to be making life decisions for us? Don't know. Well, I do know. I don't think that he should be allowed to sit on the Supremes. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that he deserves to sit on the Supreme Court? Is he worthy of that position? In all honesty, let me know. Until next time guys, before we go anywhere, make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, make sure that you check out naturallyiu.com for more pearls, travel, and life. Until next time guys, stay blessed and unstressed.